Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day. It's a delight to have you join us on Global Morning this beautiful day. Well, I call it beautiful because seeing every day is a blessing. And of course, we need to take advantage of that. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I'm not here alone like it has always been. Jumai is right here with me. Good morning, Jumai.
Good morning, Ramsey. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Well done. And to each and every one of you out there, good morning. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. The weather is fantastic. And hopefully it's going to remain so to the end of today. Good morning. Well done.
Yes. Well, when Nigerians wake up from their sleep every morning, there is something that comes to mind.
What?
What are we going to eat today? First of all, what for breakfast? Then you begin to think of, I need to go to one or two places. Then by the time you start thinking of all of these things, if you're not strong enough, it weighs you down.
Yes, it does.
It weighs you down because you begin to calculate. Before now, 5K could take care of our breakfast in the family, let's say a family of 5 or thereabout. But right now, it wouldn't. How much? I don't know. Is it only in my area? How much is a loaf of bread in your own area?
Well, it depends. You can get a loaf of bread for 2,000, 1,500.
Good.
Some places higher.
Same bread that was like neighborhood of 800 back in the days, 500. Now it's going as far as 2,000.
Yeah.
Then you begin to talk about transport. Then you begin to talk about, I'm going out. I'm going to stay out from, let's say, 9 a.m. For people who do 9 to 5. I'm going to be out from 9 until 5. Am I going to eat? Am I going to stay hungry? All of this put together affect productivity.
Yes, it does.
But there is a way, all right, you can overcome these things, How do you do that? You try as much as possible to put positivity ahead of the negativity every day when you wake up. Because by the time you start your day on a negative note, it's going to affect almost every of the activities of the day.
Of course.
So you allow situations to take care of themselves. And I tell people, you don't need to kill yourself for anything. Whatever you're not able to do at a particular point in time, skip it. All right? If need be, you can return back to it when you have the wherewithal to do it. So today I want to encourage everyone that as you go to your office today, as you go to your business places, what you should be thinking about is productivity, excellence. There is a way these things make way for people.
Yes, it does.
Excellent. You did something excellently somewhere. Just because it's you, that's your nature. You don't know how to skip process, follow process, due diligence, do your things excellently.
Very important.
Things like that speak for you in the future.
Yes, it does.
It may not be at the same place. Someone was talking to me yesterday and the person said, well, whatever you have the opportunity to do it correctly, do it rightly, all right, without cutting corners. It may not speak for you at that very particular point in time because someone called him after a very long time. He said, while he was going to work with the person, a lot of people were like, will you be able to work with this person? We know how, will you be able to work with this person? But he felt, well, the person is a human being. I'll try my best. I'll be able to work with the person. And they did that project that time. After a very long time. He said he's even been sending the person messages, trying to say hi, but they've not been response for a very long time. But just a few days ago, the person called and said, there is a project that I want you on. Big project.
Can you see that?
You see, so that is life. What am I trying to say? Every day as you wake up, think positively. All right.
And not just to add to what you've said. I've listened to all what you've said. For me, positivity is key. I've always loved being positive. You have to be positive, whatever circumstance you find yourself. It doesn't matter. You can always see the good in something. It doesn't matter how big or how little it is. You can always see the good. and having that cordial relationship. You see, tolerance and patience, they play a very key role in one's life. How to be tolerant, how to be patient, to accept individuals, and just get the job done. It's very important. It doesn't matter wherever you find yourself. If you have a task in front of you, get the job done. I don't need to be your best friend. We don't have to be besties. Let's just get the job done, and we have a cordial relationship, something called self-respect. I respect you, you respect me. We don't have to sit down to have tete-a-tete. No, we don't need to. But as long as we have a cordial relationship, getting the job in front of us done, and we are good to go, I think it's fine.
And one very important thing is the fact that's help in facilitating the process of getting the work done.
Very important.
My boss most time will always said it's a teamwork. In everything I've discovered in my life, that everything you do in life, teamwork is the best. As a single person, if you are alone, all right, you will go fast, but you will not go far. But if you are in the company of people and you're doing the right thing, you go very far, achieving your excellence.
Very true.
And that's the reason the place of teamwork, cordial relationship.
Very important.
When you are in pursuit of excellence, should not be taken away.
And that is why there's a saying that goes, all hands on deck. Not, they didn't say all hand on deck. All hands, because
on deck.
Many people coming together makes it faster, makes it better. You accomplish it on time. Why? Because you have different ideologies coming into play and making a difference and making the best out of whatever task is given in front of you. So it's very important. For teamwork, yes, I understand, but to be cordial at the same time so that you can be approachable, so you can be an individual that someone can work with is very important. You should have that, having an amazing relationship with everyone. Like I said, we don't have to be besties, no. But as long as I can see you in the morning and say, hi, good morning, how was your day? And we go on with our various activities, and there's a job in front of us, there's a task and we get it done, I think we're good.
Well, good. All right. As it is right now, so many things happening from the polity. Yesterday, a lot of people have said, today for PDP and of course ADC.
Exactly.
But then I don't know. Is it that the hope of the people was dashed? Because a lot of people are like, what is the court going to say? This is going to be the final battle, last fight. You know, those days when we watch movies, everybody will wait for the last fight. There is one part they call the last fight.
Yeah.
You wait for the last fight. What's going to happen now? Like yesterday, a lot of people were waiting for the last fight. What was going to happen from the court and all of that. But then, well, I don't know. I don't want to say certain things, but I think the court know what it's doing. The case is still in court.
Yes.
So whatever we say, we'll keep it mild because the case is still in court.
Yes, it is.
But what's the faith, all right, of the faith of Labour Party, PDP, and ADC? Are we expecting another come together? Is it too late? Are we seeing maybe the big names in ADC going to join another political party so they can run? So a lot of questions. Some persons have been talking about Bala Mohammed. Someone told me a few days ago, he said, well, what's even happening now? Parties are wooing, all right, politicians. Join our party. Join our party.
We can make this work.
We can make this work. Join our party. Then sometimes you begin to think, what's the possibility of these people coming together? Remember, it was a measure that brought APC to where they are today.
Oh, yes, very true.
It was a measure that brought them to where they are today. So if we want to do a coalition, well, who are those that are part of the coalition? And the vehicle, like some persons will say, well, the political parties are vehicles that help politicians get to their destination, not minding the ideology of the political party, even though all political parties claim to have ideology. But are we seeing that in the real sense of it? Is it practical? Is it feasible? in the practice of our democracy as a country. You know, these are some of the things, but the most important thing is that you and I are wiser than we used to be in 2015.
Of course,
2009.
of course.
Electorates are wiser now.
No, of course we are wiser now. We now know that we want the best for ourselves, and you must get the job done. All your promises must be fulfilled. We will drag you. Social media has come to play a big role in our lives now. So if you're not working or you're not fulfilling mandate, we'll bring you out and call you out in public.
And
so,
voters card.
Your votes, exactly, very important.
Your mandate.
Exactly, your mandate. And they say there's something that says your mandate we shall stand. And then the most important thing
something say your mandate shall stand. Don't even do that. because the people singing that song, a lot of people are disappointed
exactly. I know
one set of people that sing that song, the National Assembly.
I know.
You know, see that the National Assembly sang that song called Your Mandate we shall stand. A lot of people have been saying so many things, whether opposition or
true.
But if the mandate is good, we can stand on it.
Exactly.
But let Nigerians get a good feel of the precious things embedded in this mandate.
Exactly.
The mandate is good enough.
And you know, the electorate, we now understand that we have power, we have a voice. It's very important that we go out and get your voter's card, cast your vote. That's your power. You have that voice. You actually have a say in this. You don't have to wait and fold your hands and say, they will do what they want. No. You make a difference. Your vote counts. So it's very important we understand that. But let's just see how there was so much apprehension yesterday. We sat back in the office and we're talking about it before the whole Supreme Court and all of that. And we said, what's going to happen? Everyone was waiting in. Everybody was I was wondering what is going to take place now, what's going to happen. But of course we know, but of course, well, Judge, like you said, the court knows what it's doing.
The tension is still there. There is still tension and apprehension.
Yes, but not as much as how it was yesterday.
You know, yesterday, a lot of even before yesterday, a lot of people were waiting. You know how you wait for something to come out. Maybe when you want to kill a rat, the way you hold your bat and let it come out. A lot of people were watching yesterday, but then what's going to be is going to be whenever the judgment is going to come, it will come. All right, everyone, let's take a quick break as we bring you Taste and Texture on Global Morning.
Everyone, and welcome to Taste and Texture. Today we are going to be preparing boiled plantain and egg sauce. For the boiled plantain, we'll be needing the following: ripe fresh plantain, knife and clean pot, water. Here is the process of preparing boiled plantain. Wash and cut or dice your fresh ripe plantain into few pieces. In a clean pot, add your diced and washed ripe plantains. Add water, salt and cover to cook for a few minutes. Drop and drain the water, and then after a few minutes, peel the boiled plantain and set aside. For the egg sauce, we will be needing a few fresh pieces of raw eggs. In a clean bowl, break your raw eggs and whisk. Get your clean frying pan and add oil to fry. Add your pepper, mix, and stir for a few minutes. Then add Maggi and other seasoning of your choice. Then stir and add corned beef, optional. Also stir your already whisked eggs, and finally add parsley and stir it. Our boiled plantain and egg sauce is ready. That's it on this episode of the show. I hope you will try this recipe at home. Join me again on Taste and Texture next time. I am Sadia Yakubu. See you again.
All right, you're welcome back. And of course, that's Taste and Texture on Global Television. And Ramsey, hope you'll be trying that delicious recipe.
I was asking the question. I said, what's this? The first time I thought
it was pancakes with plantain. I said, no. It was later on I said, no, it's plantain and egg. Something that we should have.
Plantain and egg sauce.
Yes, it's not every time you fry plantain.
I thought it's yam and egg sauce.
No, plantain and egg sauce.
Yes, but I thought when you call sauce, egg sauce, where my mind goes to most time is yam and egg sauce.
No, there's plantain
and egg sauce.
Delicious, fantastic. You should try it out. And I'm sure most individuals out there will definitely try it out. It's healthy, it's nutritious, and it's fantastic. For plantain lovers like myself, you know how it is. All right, at about this point, let us move, being inspired today. Let's go to the segment Heart to Heart segment Inspirational, and stay tuned and let's get inspired.
Hello and welcome to another beautiful day right here. It is Heart to Heart Inspirational, and of course my name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Your voice matters. That's what we want to look at today. Your voice matters. Okay, it doesn't matter when we say your voice matters. What are we talking about? Is it that you are talkative? Is it that you are loquacious? Is it that you are a lingua franca? You can speak a lot of languages. Is that what we mean when we say your voice matters? A lot of voices have gone down the drain today. A lot of good voices, all right? When we say your voice matters, are we talking about the fact that you can sing or you are a poet? No, it's beyond that. Let me give you something right now. Silence has cost the world many solutions. Somewhere, someone needed your voice, but you never knew. But one of the things that have stopped a lot of people, a lot of voices from being heard, a lot of opinions from being shared, a lot of talents from being manifested is fear. Fear of what will happen if it doesn't go my way. My voice, are you sure my idea is going to count? Are you sure my opinion matters? Your voice is needed at several places for several reasons, but fear convinced you to stay quiet. You see what fear does? What is fear? In the actual sense of it, let me define fear for you. Fear is spelled F-E-A-R. Let me give you the acronym of fear. Fear is false evidence appearing to be real. That is false evidence appearing real. F for fear, E for evidence, A for appearing, then R for real. It is not real, but it's appearing to be real. You see, you've been quiet because of fear. You've been quiet because of maybe you feel you're going to be embarrassed, whereas you have a very good idea. Some people can never share their ideas. All right. I'm not saying you should share your vision to dream killers. That's not what I'm saying. Please, let's get this right, because I tell people all the time, it's not everybody you share your dreams with. If you are in doubt, please go and ask Joseph, his own brother. You remember what they did to him. I'm not saying you should share your dream with every Dick and Harry. Your plans, go and share your plans with everyone you see on the road. In fact, people, it's not even good to talk too much. Anywhere you go, you are just like a typewriter. 200 words in 1 minute. Habba. That's not the kind of voicing, speaking that I'm talking about. All right? Your voice carries story. It carries your experience. And it carries your perspective. And a lot of people will tell you that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. A lot of people cannot be helped because, number one, they don't know the right people to even talk to. A lot of people are talking to the wrong persons per time. First of all, you need to know where and when your voice is supposed to be heard. You need to know where and when you need to speak. You don't speak everywhere. You don't talk everywhere. You should not be predictable. When people see you, they should not say, you don't they come. We know. Then before you know what is happening, you landed the venue and 200 words per minute. And you're not even making sense with what you're saying. It's embarrassing. That's not the kind of voice that I'm talking about. The voice that comes with quality. The voice that comes with perspective to every situation. The voice that comes with an experience that someone can learn from and become successful in life. A voice that carries stories that stands the test of time. Do you know that you go to some places and you share your story or maybe an experience or a perspective, and somebody catch their vision. Yes. Somebody might just be around there. This is somebody that has been thinking, all right, of what to do in life. What do I even need to do in life? What am I in life for? Some people are even thinking suicide because they don't know what to do. Life doesn't mean anything to them. Then you come there, you begin to share stories, you begin to share testimonies, you begin to say some kind of positive things, and these people begin to realize themselves. They begin to discover themselves, because in every word that you speak, somebody is hearing, and every word that you hear per time have an impact in your life, either negatively or positively. And that's the reason I tell people all the time, it's not everyone you listen to. Be careful what you hear all the time. Be careful who you give your ears to. Be careful who you share your moments with. What you have survived qualifies you to speak. What you've learned position you to help other people. You don't need to be a perfect person to be impactful. You don't need perfection to be impactful. That thing you are hiding, that story you are hiding, that idea you are hiding, that inspiration you are hiding could be something that can change somebody's life forever. A lot of us are supposed to be making impacts with our voices, but we are hidden. We are trampled in fear. You need authenticity, as a matter of fact. Let me give you an instance. This is just an illustration. A candle, we all know what a candle is. A candle doesn't just lose light by lighting another candle. All right? You get that. You light a candle, for instance, then you use that candle to light another candle. The first candle that you use in lighting the second candle does not lose its light. That is impact there. It has made impact, but it never affected it in any way. Now, your voice doesn't diminish others. It multiplies impact. That is, I'm talking about a positive voice, all right? A positive voice. Okay, there are some people that if they come and they speak, you hear wisdom. You spend 2 minutes with some persons. When they want to leave, you say, you'll be feeling bad. I wish this person can stay with me a little more time. Because these are people that their voices multiply impact. Maybe you knew something before. Why am I saying this? Let me establish this. I'm saying all of this so that you know the kind of people you listen to. You know the kind of voices you listen to. And you on your own part should know that your voice needs to be heard. Except you know the import of it. You will just keep quiet where you are supposed to speak. You are not making impact. It doesn't diminish you if you make impact. It doesn't affect you. But then it lightens somebody's world. Maybe to somebody that is downcasted, somebody that is about committing suicide, somebody who is feeling lonely, just a word from you can make somebody's day. Like I was telling someone some times back, just a smile, good morning, how you doing, can make someone feel big. Exchange of smile. By the time you smile to someone and the person smiles back, it's have a way of making people feel good, of setting people's day, a good pace for people's day. Stop minimizing your stories. Speak, even when your voice is shaky. Share what you know now, all right? Share what you know now. Because maybe by the time you want to speak it the next time, it may not be as valuable as it is when that inspiration comes. All right? When you have the leading to do it, go ahead and do it. Maybe you want to start a business, for instance, and there is someone around you you need to speak to. Don't hold it back. If you have the leading to speak to the person, go ahead and do it. Your voice, okay? Your voice is someone else's breakthrough, in case you don't know. All right? Your voice is someone else's breakthrough, but you may not know that. Okay? Your voice, your own voice, is somebody else's breakthrough. Open your mouth. Speak the truth. Speak it out. The world is waiting for your sound. The world is waiting for your manifestation. The world is waiting for you to let that thing out of you. Especially when you know it's inspiring. Especially when you know it's going to stop someone from maybe committing suicide. Because a lot of people are confused in this generation. They don't even know what to do. And that's why you have a lot of photocopy. We have few originals. A lot of people are duplicates of other people's ideas, of other people's lifestyle, of other people's opinion. But you got a voice. Your voice can shape somebody's destiny forever. What are you waiting for? What are you scared of? Fear has stopped a lot of people from doing so many things, from taking a particular step they need to take. But today, I want to charge you. I want to inspire you. I want to speak to your heart that your voice, there are people today. Let me say this. I think I need to say this because you don't know who is listening to what you're saying. In that meeting, in that gathering, all right, you don't know if your destiny helper is there. Maybe a contribution that you want to make as you're trying to make sense on time, it will give the person by your side, all right, an inspiration, an acumen, okay, to become what they have been planning to be. Your voice might be a witness to what the Spirit is telling them, to what their mind is telling them, to what their instinct is telling them. So speak it out. Stop holding it back. Congratulations, everyone, listening to the sound of my voice right now, because you are a success, going somewhere to happen, a voice that the world will reckon with. And as expectation of a lot of creature is the manifestation of people like you. Go, manifest, voice it out, say it. The truth. You should be known with saying the truth all the time. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.
All right, you're welcome back from the segment of Inspirational. At about this point, it is the newspaper review segment. And we'll start with the first paper of the day, and it's the Daily Times. Above the nameplate, it says 2027 PDP fixes May 17th to 18th for presidential primary aspirants to pay 51 million naira. And next to that is on the business segment, it says energy shock derails hope as inflation rebounds. And below that, the star story on the Daily Times, it reads, Supreme Court keeps PDP ADC in suspense, reserves judgment in Turaki-led fraction, marks ESCO. And still on the Daily Times, it reads here, alleged coup plotters denied charges. And it says insurgency, Senate wants CDS to audit military operation logistics. And basically that is it on the Daily Times. Go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the major issues making rounds. Next we have the Nation. Next is the Nation newspaper. And above the nameplate it says how Titan Trust Bank used Union Bank's own assets for $300 million takeover. And here it says Edun Dangiwa resigned, says presidency. And that's read is on page 6. And of course, the writer says Adelabu quits to run in Oyo. And for the speculations that they were sacked, well, you just heard it now. Ramsey, they resigned on their own.
Well,
So
we've heard about this severally. Resignation, they resign, they resign.
Exactly.
Well, that's what has been happening. But some persons will tell you they were advised to resign, and that the president is so wise that he doesn't want to make it look like they were being sacked. It won't be too good for their profile.
image. Yes, exactly.
So they will use the word resign, and it's better.
It's better.
Whatever the strategy is all about, I think it's better. But then all these are speculations.
Yes,
the
they
president didn't come out to tell anyone that this is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That is just speculation from different quarters.
Exactly. And on page 27 on The Nation, it says PDP fixes presidential governorship primaries for May 17th and 18th. And the writer says forms for 51 million naira to 20 million naira. And on page 7 on The Nation, it says federal state cancels shared 204 trillion naira for March allocation. And like I mentioned before, that's on page 7. On page 27, it says ambassador designates to Algeria, Mohamed Lele, dies. Very unfortunate incident there. And it says banks, financial institutions answerable to FCCPC court rules. And we have two riders underneath that story. It says agency gets backing to probe consumer complaints. And it says bellow, it's big victory for bank customers. And I'm still on The Nation. That's the Star story. It says coup plot suspects to get speedy trial from Monday. And the writer reads court orders remand of ex-general, 5 others in DSS custody. And at the foot of the paper, it reads Supreme Court adjourns for judgment in ADC PDP appeals. And that's on page 2 on The Nation newspaper. And go out and get yourself a copy to be well informed on the major issues making rounds. And then the Daily Sun is next. And beside the nameplate of the Daily Sun, okay, Ramsey will take us through that paper.
All right, let's quickly look at the Daily Sun for you this morning. The Daily Sun has this headline just directly beside the nameplate, and it says the Supreme Court reserves judgment in PDP ADC leadership crisis. We talked about that earlier. The reservation, no one knows the reason. Maybe investigations are still on, probably. The Supreme Court may have their reasons for doing that. But then some people have the school of thought that any delay now is not going to be so good for the African Democratic Congress, especially for PDP. I think to an extent they know what's up, because the weaker faction is actually being upheld to an extent. But then the ADC, they don't have all the time at all, if I may say. Just some riders to that story. And of course, we'll look at the riders. One says a Makinde faction hopeful of victory. Then Wike bloc schedule presidential primaries for May 17 and 18. That's the fight. Well, we'll always wait for the last fight so that we'll see the actor and the boss who is going to win. But in this case, I don't really know who is the actor and who is the boss. More headlines coming to you from the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. This one says alleged coup plotters arraigned, denied charges, remanded in DSS custody. One writer to that story, and they said court okays accelerated hearing. So that hearing is going to be an accelerated hearing. And that takes us to the Star story on the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. And it says, insecurity. Senate gives CDS, DSS, orders, matching orders. All right? Orders, matching orders. One right to that story actually, and the writer says charges security heads to probe Mungono Beneshek attacks, NAB perpetrators. That's the recent attack that happened. All right, more headlines coming to you from the Daily Sun. This one says Ojukwu not just fighter for justice, man of ideas. This is coming from the wife, Bianca, of course, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. This one says love goes sore. And Edun Dangiwa resign, not sacked, says presidency. Because while I was reading that news yesterday, what was in the news that I read said reshuffling. It's all about reshuffling. So it's not a sack. The federal government is coming to say, we didn't sack Edun, we didn't sack Dangiwa, it was a reshufflement. And now we're hearing that they resigned on their own. Probably they may come out to speak much later. Corruption, misplacement of priority cause of poor security funding in Nigeria. This is coming from Atiku Abubakar. These are the headlines for you today on the Daily Sun newspaper as we move ahead to the next point of call, which of course, which one do we have next? The Punch newspaper.
Yeah, the Punch newspaper, and of course giving us some very punchy headlines. Above the nameplate it says, FG plans to borrow 700 billion naira via April bonds, and that read you will find on page 24. On page 27 it says, FAAC allocation hits 2.04 trillion naira, raises by 150 billion naira, and that's on page 27. On page 12 it says insecurity, Senate seeks campaign ban in 8 northern states. And still on the Punch newspaper, beside the nameplate, it reads, Adelabu resigns, presidency explains Edun Dangiwa exit, and that's on page 7. And if you're wondering, Adelabu, of course, that's the Minister of Power there, and he has resigned. And the Star story there says 2027 suspense as Supreme Court delays PDP ADC verdict, and that read is on page 2. And we have some riders there. It says Wike block sparks fresh PDP tension, pegs presidential form at 51 million naira, governor at 21 million naira. Okay. Then the next rider says, Makinde camp to Wike group. It's an exercise in futility. And the next rider reads Nigerian democracy at stake, and that's from the ADC. And below all of that, it says alleged coup, suspects pledge not guilty, remanded in DSS custody, and that's on page 9. And still on the Punch newspaper, it says FG considers airline debt waiver amid fuel crisis. And that read is on page 17. On page 5, it says Lagos court jails fraudster 42 years over 80,000 euro scam. That's on page 5. That's a lot. And it says here FG mourns as ambassador designate to Algeria dies. Yeah. And that's on page 12. Very unfortunate incident there. But if you want to,
It didn't even get posted before he lost his life.
Before he lost his life. Very unfortunate incident there. Our prayers that may his soul rest in perfect peace. Death is inevitable. So
that's it. It comes. So you just accept it in good faith. You know, but
course,
then it's a big loss.
It is a big loss for the family. And I just pray that God consoles the wife and every family member. Very unfortunate incident there. Well, those are the major headlines on the Punch. Please go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the major issues making rounds. Next, we have the Leadership paper.
All right, let's quickly look at the Leadership newspaper this morning and see where it's going to be leading us. Above the nameplate, still talking about security. Let's take you to Plateau State, where the Angwarukuba killings, the charges has been pressed against 5 suspects. That's in Plateau State. Then this one is also above the nameplate and it says aviation fuel hike. The federal government offers debt discounts to local airlines. Well, I don't know. I think there should also, something should also be done. You know, when people hear about airline like this, there is this perception that people who use this means of transportation are the well-to-do in the society. So as it is right now, if Nigerians are seeing that the federal government is trying to do something to cushion the effect of the hike in the price of the airline fare and all of that, something should also be done, all right, to cushion the effect of the high cost of land transportation. People who move. No, you know, most times I talk about things that directly affect the real Nigerians.
The masses. We are all Nigerians.
No, we have some persons are more Nigerian than the other.
Really? Very funny.
it's funny actually, and you know what I mean, all right? The creme de la creme of the society, you know. But then we are all one. We are all Nigerians under the same constitution. So it's an appeal that if the federal government is trying to ease the debt for these airlines to at least cushion the effect of the airfare, same thing should also be done. Let's see how transportation generally can be moderate for the average Nigerian who move from one place to the other too. It's a good step in the right direction, federal government, so keep it up. Now this one says March FAC allocation jumps by 138 billion naira to 2.04 trillion naira amid oil price surge. This is good. This is good. But then, I don't know. Am I the one to talk about this, or I will need someone to talk about this? I think we need to get someone to talk about this. This is serious. This is fact. Before now, well, we don't have all the time. Before now, a lot of people have said, well, the surge in the oil price, the crude, especially at the international market, is supposed to translate into so much for Nigeria because we are exporters of crude.
Yes, we are.
And the federal government is attesting to the fact that March FAC allocation has jumped from 138 billion naira, right, to 2.04 trillion naira. You see the gap?
Yes.
But the question is, this money is FAC allocation, this FAC allocation, how is it being used by the various states, even at the local government council?
Exactly.
Because the president will always say, subsidy has been removed, money is going to the state. Ask your governors what they are doing with it.
Exactly.
But do the governors, all right, do the governors have, I know, the right thinking cap to like come out and tell Nigerians or the people in the state what they are doing with this money? This is big money. All right, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed to see how all of this is going to what's going to happen at the end of the day. This one says Nigerian ambassador designates to Algeria, Lele dies at 50. Court fixes April 27 for trial as 6 alleged coup plotters deny charges. A judge remands suspect in DSS custody. Amid bar crisis, Adelabo resigns. ICE Oyo governorship election. All right. Well, there is no time. This is one person, a lot of Nigerians have said, well, when the first set of ministers were asked, it was supposed to be asked to because power has been so epileptic in Nigeria. Edun Dangiwa has resigned, not sacked. Presidency is appearing again. Adamawa Guba, Senator Iya declares no retreat, no surrender in APC primaries. I think that's good. And finally, Supreme Court reserved judgment in PDP ADC leadership case. These are the headlines for you today on the Leadership newspaper.
All right, now we have the Guardian newspaper. Below the nameplate, it says here, PDP ADC kicks as Supreme Court reserves judgment in leadership tussles. And that news you will find on page 3. And on page 3 again, it says 6 suspected coup plotters plead not guilty to FG's 13 charges. Trial begins April 27th. And on page 3, it says INEC visits LP Secretariat, verifies leadership documents. And the star story on The Guardian says debate over security strategy as Senate demands rescue of 416 captives, and that's on page 6. And on page 4, it says court ruling paves way for stricter consumer protection in banking sector. And on page 4, it says Nigeria records 4,200 weekly cyber attacks amid digital economy growth. And still on The Guardian, on page 8, it says in Dokwa, protesters blockage Delta governance house over decades-long blackout. And on page 29, it says Tinubu makes fresh appointments in education agencies. Adelabu quits BEC as presidency clarifies cabinet exit amid anxiety over shakeup. And that's on page 6. And at the foot of the paper, it says here, refiners allege crude diversion, allocation shortage of 483,000 BPD. And that read is on page 7. All right, those are all the major headlines on the Guardian newspaper. Please go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast with the issues making round. All right, next, Ramsey.
All right, let's get to the next paper that we have for you today, and which is the next paper right here. That is, of course, the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper this morning, we have these major headlines, all right? PDP ADC kick as Supreme Court reserve judgment in leadership tussle. That's not what you took, right?
The Guardian, no. I took the Guardian already. So
okay, you took the Guardian.
Paper.
All right,
yes.
Let's get to the next paper. Guardian has been taken already.
Yes.
So let's get
Vanguard.
to Vanguard. What's the Vanguard saying this morning? On the Vanguard newspaper, foreign inflow jumped 78% on NGX amid rising outflow. Supreme Court reserve judgment in PDP ADC leadership crisis. The court remands alleged coup plotters in DSS custody. Ex-finance minister Edun resign on health grounds. All right, we've had cases where there were speculations in the past about his health. So this could be true. Vanguard Economic Discourse, how Nigeria can achieve food security by experts. And of course, we have some riders to that story. And the riders are so much, you can pick a copy of the Vanguard to go through the riders yourself. The next headline, all right, let's look at the next headline on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. The next headline says, Nigeria officials involved in killing of Christians. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz is the one saying that. All right, that's coming from the official U.S. Senator Ted Cruz. One writer to that story, Boko Haram killing more Muslims than Christians. Lai Mohammed is the one saying that. All right, that Boko Haram is killing more Christians than Muslims. Instead of this ups and down, whether they are killing Christians, whether they are killing Muslims, they are killing Nigerians. That's what it means. So it's just how to tackle. This is not time for blame game. This is time to tackle the situation. Nigerians are being killed, irrespective of religion. We all have one breath, the same blood flowing in our vein. So we should be more concerned about how to tackle the situation, but not who is being killed. Everybody is being killed, including pagans, including free thinkers. So it's not, there should be no religious attachment to this thing, all right? There shouldn't be political attachment. What we should be working towards is how to tackle the situation. That's my humble opinion anyway. All right. More headlines from the Vanguard newspaper. This one says alleged false claim, factional PDP chairman Turaki Dot gets 100 million naira bail. This one says Atiku to NAS amend Electoral Act now to save democracy. Then Benga Hashim Falana vow resistance as one party state fears grow. But APC will always tell you we are not supporters of one party system, and that there can't be one party system in Nigeria. All right, this is the size of the headlines that we have for you today. Pick a copy of any of these papers that appeals your fancy, that you're interested in. We would also want you to know that the editorial headlines of these newspaper houses, Global Television, does not have any contribution to the editorial contribution. All right, as it is right now, we'll go on a quick break. After this break, we're joined by Ogochukwu Mobuno as she brings us Social Buzz. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Quality doesn't start on the shelf, it starts at the factory. At Aerogem Garments Factory, every stitch reflects precision, comfort, and creativity. Across our production floor, more than 10,000 fabrics move through daily, becoming up to 5,000 finished garments, from senators to chinos, jeans to polos, t-shirt, singlet, overall, customized jacket, safety wear, school uniform, and more. When garments need to look professional, fit properly, and last, choose a factory that delivers excellence every time. Go for Aerogem Garments product, located at number 1 Pound Road behind the Nigeria Correctional Service, Aba, Abia State, Nigeria. For inquiries, call 09126453399 or 07030093944 or 08065738374 or call 09131673668. Email info@aerogem.com. Website www.aerogymdesign.com. Aerogem, where excellence crafted for confidence.
Witchtech Cables, we don't just make cables, we deliver excellence. Our products are built with advanced technology, trusted for their unmatched quality and durability. With a wide range of cables, swift delivery, and continuous innovation, we stay ahead of the market demand. We are proudly Nigerian, fully indigenous, yet world-class. Backed by a professional team, strong technical support, and a deep commitment to customer satisfaction. Witchtech Cables is more than a brand, it's a promise. Witchtech Cables, quality cables better than the best.
When social media speaks, we listen and we bring you the extra. It's your one-stop shop for trends, tweets, and the tea everyone's sipping on. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get that extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on the issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global TV.
Good morning, Nigerians and viewers around the world. It's time to look at buzzing issues making the rounds on social media. Today we're looking at self-acclaimed relationship expert Blessing CEO, who has apologized following the controversy surrounding her health claims. In the video, she expressed regret to her fans and Nigerians, describing the situation as unnecessary drama. She maintained that she did not lie about her health, but promised to be more transparent going forward, stating that she would share detailed medical updates, including reports and procedures. Blessing also thanked those who supported her financially during the period, acknowledging their contributions and prayers. Addressing critics who requested refunds, she said she is willing to return the money. According to her, anyone who contributed can reach out with proof of payment and their account details for reimbursement. All right, that's the video of the MRI scan that Blessing went through. Let's take a look at, the apology that Blessing laid out there on social media.
Hi guys, my name is Okoro Blessing Nkiruka. I'm popularly known as Blessing CEO, the #1 most controversial certified relationship and mental expert. I want to start this video by saying I'm sorry. I am very, very sorry. To my loved ones, to my fans, and to Nigeria at large, I want to say I am sorry. I'm sorry for the unnecessary drama and controversy surrounding my health issues. I am so sorry. Going forward, I promise to be very, very transparent with every of my medical report, down to my scan, my biopsy. Just be patient with me. I'm going to take you all on this journey, just the same way I took you guys on the journey of my liposuction and BBL. Please be patient with me. I never lied about my health issues. No, I didn't. But this time, you guys are going to follow me through.
Blessing CEO, that Blessing Okoro, is indeed a controversial person, because I remember when this, whole news of stage 4 breast cancer came up, I was like, this woman looks healthy, although you can never tell, because they'll tell you that sometimes people look healthy from the outside, but inside you don't know what exactly is wrong with people. So she went ahead to shave her hair off, telling people she has stage 4 breast cancer. People started donating until some person started interviewing her. Some person started doing, investigation. Arise also took her up, interviewed her, and they called a doctor and also a lawyer, and that's how they found out that the result that Blessing CEO was going around with was actually a forged result, a fake result. Also, they later found out that result she was using to tell people that she has stage 4 breast cancer was actually a result from someone she knows, a very close person. In fact, that person used to be her makeup artist whenever she goes to Asaba. This woman, Mrs. Zazie, came out, Zazie Beauty. She came out to say, you know what, that result is not for Blessing. She brought out the original of that result. They called the doctor that Blessing said she met, and the doctor said, I never met Blessing. I have never carried out any diagnostic on Blessing. There was no test, nothing. I never wrote anything. So what exactly is going on? Right now, Blessing is coming out to say, you know what, I'm apologizing to the public. I am sorry, my friends, family, fans, but I still stand on whatever it is I have said. I have breast cancer. So right now, is it stage 4 or she's yet to even know because she's going through MRI? When I saw that video, I said, MRI for breast cancer. I don't think that's the first stage because I know I have read about this. Blessing made me read about, breast cancer. I didn't want to earlier, but I had to when her case came up. I'm like, that isn't the first stage. And of course, I've heard doctors talk about it like several times, and it doesn't look like it is right. So let's see what people are saying in the comment section concerning this particular topic. And the first commenter here says, it's from the F Storyteller. And the F Storyteller says, I can't believe she wasn't arrested. What about the person's result you used? So you were all just going to forget? I'm so irritated. Yes, because I know then, the breast cancer community were about to sue her. They wrote different letters. Also, a medical doctors community in Delta State also wrote a letter, so Blessing CEO that they were going to sue her. Also, very dark man laid a complaint too. So we had several other complaints. So what exactly happened at the end of the day? The second comment is coming from Mo Sense. And Mo Sense says, something very funny about this country is people that do legit businesses don't even get the help we need. We post and post and post, still nothing. Nigerians don't value legit people, so make una demand them. All right. The last is from Ezeigbe 12, and Ezeigbe says, CT chest, echo, CT abdomen are not the diagnostic to rule out breast cancer or to stage breast cancer. She needs to do, imagine like MRI, breast ultrasound, or mammograms to rule out cancer or to know the stage. She is not ready yet to tell the truth. You have to be in medical field to know that this medical test is not applicable to breast cancer. All right, thank you so much everyone who dropped their contributions to this topic. And yes, I think this person must be a doctor. She list out the different stages or the different tests you have to do. And I know that's a mammogram. Yes, very, very important. I think that's the first one where you have this long needle pierced into your breast, to get that particular like a tissue. They have to take that to the lab to find out if truly you have breast cancer, and also to know the stage you must have had this breast cancer. All right, I'm not alone today in the studio. I have with me, unfortunately he's not a doctor, but we're going to be discussing this together. We have Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Good morning, Ramsey.
Yes, good morning, Ogochukwu. It's good to be with you on Social Bus this morning.
All right, so we're talking about Blessing CEO. I don't know if you must have been seeing this story, but this story has been making rounds on social media, I think, since last month. Blessing CEO has dragged all of us. She, at some point, when they started dragging her too much and the interviews were too much, she had to disable her social media accounts. She went off social media, and now she's back to apologize that, you know what, I'm sorry for the controversies, for my fans, my friends, my family, but I'm still standing on the fact that I have breast cancer. That's Blessing, by the way, not me. So what do you think about the story?
Well, if you're a celebrity, you need to be very, very careful what you say or what you do. And the get-rich syndrome, the quest to get rich syndrome has led a lot of people into so many things. I don't know if she was really cancerous, but then for you to even call that kind of sickness on yourself is bad. It's not something that should be talked about. But then I think if someone says something in the comments, there are people that really needs money, that really needs help, but they are not getting it. But these acclaimed celebrities come out to say one or two, and before you know, people want to be popular, and they begin to send money, and their names are being published and all of that. The true givers don't even want their names published and all of that. But then, whatever it is, I'm not a doctor, but then for Blessing to say she has stage whatever cancer, it's not a good one at all. The people who want to sue her, I don't know on what ground, maybe for impersonation or falsehood or whatever. But I think what should be done right now, because the truth is this, the trauma that comes with social media dragging is even more than that of a cancer.
Okay.
She's
known to be controversial. Even in her bio on social media, she wrote it, the controversial relationship expert. So she's known to be controversial. And I'm sure because she did that, yes. I'm sure before she actually came out to claim stage 4 breast cancer patient, she was ready for this kind of
this
drama.
Controversy.
Yes, she was ready for the drama.
Yeah,
and most times she always does it whenever she feels like, okay, she's having less engagement on her socials. She just brings something controversial just to make her popular again. And I'm asking myself, how do people even bring controversial things that is going to, reduce or destroy your brand just because you want to be popular or make money?
All right. Well, that's that for Blessing CEO. What she's going through right now, emotionally, psychologically. Well, I just pray this doesn't affect what she wanted to gain, being a controversial relationship expert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's for Blessing CEO. I, for one, I would tell you, like, deep down, I don't really believe whatever it is Blessing has said for now, because if she went through different media rounds and she kept on saying that first result was her result, she has cancer, in fact, stage 4, she was bent on, making everyone believe that was her result until the original owner of the result comes out. Right now, I don't think I'm going to believe anything that comes out of her mouth. And what happened to all of those cases and those files in court? What happened? She should be in court by now, facing all of those things in court. But whatever it is, let's see how this drama unfolds. It's going to be a long weekend, by the way. It's just Thursday. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Anyways, thank you so much, Ramsey Enokapo, for your contribution to today's topic. Yes, I'm glad you joined me today. All right, this is the size of our conversation here on Social Buzz on Global Morning. I am Ogochukwu Obuna, and I'll be leaving in the hands of Jumai and Ramsey because they're going to usher us into the discussion section of Global Morning. So stay with us. Do not go nowhere. Good morning once again, Nigeria and viewers around the world. Bye for now.
When social media speaks, we listen and we bring you the extra. It's your one-stop shop for trends, tweets, and the tea everyone's sipping on. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get that extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global TV.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust a multi-platform news broadcast, real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
Global TV News, accurate and unbiased. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.
All right, you're welcome back from that segment of Social Buzz. And of course, we're going to move now, or will I say tilt towards the first discuss of today. It's all about technology and artificial intelligence, popularly known as AI. And of course, my co-host, of course, you're familiar with AI when it comes to technology, the advancement that it has come to play, how it comes to helping involve when it comes to skills, when it comes to learning, when it comes to workplace, and all of that encompass, I'm sure.
Yes, I think artificial intelligence has come to stay.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, AI means artificial intelligence.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I could remember when AI first emerged, a lot of people were scared that, artificial intelligence has come to take the job, the work of people.
Yes.
But then the truth is, AI has not come to displace anyone from its job, but it has come to make AI easy. What will happen is people who get themselves acquainted with AI will displace people who have refused to update and upgrade themselves.
Exactly.
All right. By getting used to AI can do a lot of things.
Yes, it can.
Today, we see a lot of people doing email marketing with the aid of AI. We see a lot of people doing designs, video editing, note taking. So if you are a secretary or maybe an admin staff, all right, that knows how to exploit the opportunities available with the artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Number one, it makes your job easier. All right, it makes your job easier for you, and it makes it faster. So if you don't know how to use AI, you will definitely be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI. It's not that AI has come to displace people or send people out of their job. So that's what it means.
Very important. I like the fact that you said if you do not understand AI, you will be replaced with someone who understands the ropes when it comes to AI, artificial intelligence. That's why I guess there will be three more emphasis on what technology has come to bring, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're wondering, artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the global economy by reshaping how business operates, how work is done, and how value is created. Now, it works across sectors like finance, healthcare, agriculture, and manufacturing. AI, popularly known as artificial intelligence, is improving efficiency, yes, enabling faster, data-driven decision-making. Tasks that once acquired sufficient human effort can now be automated, allowing organizations to scale productivity and innovate more quickly. Now, my guest, John Toluwase Ayodele, he's the lead tech, or will I say the tech lead of Jayton Wells Limited, and he'll be joining us on the program to throw more emphasis on what artificial intelligence is all about, how it's evolving, how it has come to make that input for you to understand that everyone has to evolve. The world is evolving, and it's very important that we understand the ropes when it comes to the techniques, when it comes to how to imbibe it in our work, to add more efficiency, like I mentioned before, to enable it faster. Back in the day, when it comes to before the arise of artificial intelligence, we're very slow. We could take a particular profile, it can take months, but with the generation of AI now, it takes barely 3 hours, 6 hours. So it takes a toll, and of course, let's quickly go on a very quick break now. And okay, I hear that our guest has actually joined us now. All right, how are you doing, John Toluwase Ayodele? Thank you for joining us.
Yes, of course. I think John will join us very soon. But I could remember hosting a guest during the FCT election. We had a guest that was talking about how AI can be used during the election in Nigeria. You know, a lot of people were particular about the electoral reform, and some persons were saying these things cannot be done real time. And he spoke extensively. What am I trying to say? AI, all right, can be used in different areas,
of course,
including in electioneering. And what does it do? It helps you in the collation. It helps make this election real time, faster, and it can help you go back to everything that happened at the polling unit. Whatever that is uploaded to the portal, you can refer to it anytime, any day.
True.
And a lot of people who cheat during elections with the deployment of these AI tools. You know, it's a tool.
Yes, it
and
is.
That's the reason I said if you are conversant with these tools, it makes things easy. You know, in developed worlds outside, you know, they've been using AI for a very long time.
Yes, they have.
You know, like the Google we use. Google, you know, we have Grok right now.
Yes, we do.
All right, which is one aspect of artificial intelligence. The simple ChatGPT that we use. A lot of people, if you want to write an application today, you want to write a proposal, you want to do a letter, you want to find the meaning of everything. I think it's as if Advanced Learner's Dictionary is going into instinct right now, because a lot of people are deploying these tools to get the meaning of words. Do you know that if you type your name now and you say, hello ChatGPT, ChatGPT will reply and say, hello Jumai Manson. Then you'll be wondering, how does this AI, this ChatGPT, know my name. You can type ChatGPT, please tell me about Jummai Manson. And you'll be surprised the kind of things that ChatGPT will bring out. I was with someone some time back, and I said, okay, I'm going to know you now. I'm going to tell you who you are right now. And I typed it, tell me about this person, who is this, and who is that. And by the time ChatGPT brought it out, I discovered that, well, she was even surprised because ChatGPT was telling me everything about her, where she had worked, what happened where she worked, and all of that.
That's data friendly then?
Data friendly, bring out data and all of that. So what am I trying to say? I've had also someone who spoke, one of my friends who is an AI expert, he told us here how your AI, with the help of AI, you can go to your farm, deploy these tools, and they will tell you what you need for a particular crop to yield very well. They will tell you what insecticide you need, what is the insect that is disturbing your crop. That is the area of agriculture.
Yes.
What am I trying to say? Meaning, if we as a nation, if we can deploy these tools, it will boost the economy of this nation. Agriculture is one area that, of course, has suffered so much in this country because of crude. Everyone's attention is on crude. But I was made to understand that with AI, we can do better, far better than what we used to have in the agricultural sector, because things have evolved. Just a lot of people don't know this.
Yes, but not just agriculture. When it comes to healthcare sectors,
I'm talking about what we can use to boost the economy, as it has to do with something that can compete with crude oil, because attention is on crude. That's what I mean.
Very true, very true. You're absolutely right. And of course, it's very important that we embrace it as soon as possible, because it has actually come to stay, and it's just trying to give us that advancement that we need when it comes to the world evolving, and we need to evolve with it. And I'm sure our guests will join us up really, really soon. But let's quickly go on a very quick break. It's Global Morning on Global Television. And remember, the first discuss of the day continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
for the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
All right, you're welcome back, and we're still talking about the first discuss of the day, all about technology, artificial intelligence. And I said before, I am being joined by a tech lead. He is John Toluwase Ayodele. He works with Jayton Wells Limited. How are you doing, Ayodele? It's great to have you on the program, Global Morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing? How is work?
Thank you so much for making our time.
Thank you.
Time to be part of the program. Now, talking about artificial intelligence, for most individuals out there who do not have a clue what this has come to do or what it has come to do for us in the economy, explain to us briefly what artificial intelligence is all about and the impact it has come to make in our economy.
Okay, thank you. Artificial intelligence, like what most people know as AI, has really come to stay. We are already in the age of artificial intelligence, and when we are talking about artificial intelligence, it just simply refers to machines and computer systems designed to simulate human intelligence. That is the phone, from the phones in our hands to the tablets to the laptops. Now they are now being embedded with capabilities to be able to do things humans would do, like learning, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. So when you have systems being embedded with artificial intelligence, what a human would normally be able to do, then you'll be able to get results within a very short time. And when we're talking about artificial intelligence, it is also based on data. Just like before now, we have what we call GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Now, artificial intelligence relies on data. Whatever data you are feeding it with, is going to sum up those data, process it, and then give you back a very processed and organized information. So in the long run, so that's just what artificial intelligence is. Now, coming to the economy now, in the age of artificial intelligence, is not a kind of technology that maybe business A would say, oh, I need artificial intelligence. Business B would say, oh, I don't need artificial intelligence. Is becoming something that is too relevant to be ignored. That is something that cannot be ignored. For instance, today's AI powers financial systems, like detecting fraud in real time. When it comes to healthcare diagnosis, smart assistants, like responding to human speeches. Then we are looking at business tools and automation operations. Everything is being powered by AI. For instance, you can design a software that is being powered by AI. You have little of what a human would, you have little interference from a human, and the artificial intelligence will be able to, based on the data that comes into the system, process everything, generate and organize the data in real time. It also has the ability to, it also uses power business tools, like your AI analytic tools, like your data analytics, to present those information that would ordinarily take a lot of time to process.
Is critically now, Ayodele. Now, to what extent now does AI, which is artificial intelligence, contributes to job creation versus job displacement in modern economics? Because a lot of people are saying AI has come to take over their jobs and people are scared. So what's that balance?
Okay, now the balance is this. There's no reason why people need to be scared about creating jobs. Now, AI is not really going to make people lose their jobs. Rather, as AI, what AI has come to do is to create a better way of doing things. For instance, like automating processes. Like what AI just does is like moving the manual job, what you do normally, that's a manual task, to an automated task. And as it is creating the new jobs, it is only replacing those manual jobs with automated tasks. So what an individual just needs to do is just to learn how to automate processes, and that is just done with just prompts, learning how to prompt your artificial intelligence to be able to achieve what you want to do, which is even way much more simpler. Just the way we're having this conversation now, by the time you embed artificial intelligence into it, you discover that at the end of this conversation, you'll be able to have in real time reports of everything we've been able to do, instead of going back and start drafting reports. So that's what artificial intelligence would do for you if properly embedded into systems. So for instance, those who are in the computing, you have AI engineers, AI data analytics, and so on and so forth. Even in the global world today now, or in Nigerian system, for instance, you discover that there is a lot of jobs that has been created. When you go to the YouTube and a whole lot there, you discover that there is a lot of jobs. You have a lot of content creation that is being, a lot of content that are being created, which are powered by AI. And you see, all those things are improving businesses, economies, and a whole lot.
All right, let me come in now. Thank you very much. That's so insightful. But now we're talking about the economy of Nigeria right now. For instance, which area do you think AI can be deployed, the AI tool, or which AI tool do you think can be deployed into the economy of Nigeria, for instance, as a nation, to help us boost the economy?
Okay, now when you are talking about an AI tool that can be deployed, now for AIs, there are different AI models that have been trained. For instance, just to mention some few AI models that have been trained, you have Cloud, you have GPT, you have Gemini, and a whole lot of them. Now, when you have a system that is already designed, all you just need to do is to embed artificial intelligence into it. For instance, let's take financial payment of maybe staffs in the civil service, for instance. In real time, artificial intelligence can help reduce fraud. How do I mean? When artificial intelligence is embedded into the system, for instance, it will be able to eradicate what you call ghost workers, for instance. And if ghost workers are eradicated, for instance, when you come to workplace in the morning, you can either do a scan or you can clock in. If using artificial intelligence to take from your system, it's able to map the environment, and in real time, when you're at work, it's able to detect, oh, this person is at work today, is at work tomorrow, okay, is absent for this reason or the other. So all those processes are being automated, and you see at the end of the day, in real time, those calculations, those financial analysis calculation can be done such that at the end of the day, you see that funds that ought to have been misappropriated, for instance, is being saved in real time, thereby, and once fraud is reduced from a financial system, for instance, you discover that it also helps to boost growth. It also helps to prevent wastages in the economy. So that is exactly what happens. And in real time, all those reports can also be generated. And it also removes bureaucracies from system. Everything is automated in real time. So you have less of human labor or interferences trying to stop process flow.
Gear a bit, and let us look at artificial intelligence, how it influences income inequality between the skilled and unskilled workers.
Okay, now looking at artificial intelligence for skilled and unskilled workers, for me as a person and from the little trainings we've been able to do, anybody at all, even the man on the street, can use artificial intelligence. I would so amaze you that within a very short time, with the little knowledge of IT and artificial intelligence I have, I've been able to build a system. Something like ChatGPT, for instance, that you have. I've been able to build something like that, and I've been able to prompt it and get results. So once a common man, someone who is on the street, what they just need to understand is just being trained to respond, to know how to prompt the artificial intelligence. Now, for those of us in the programming world, you discover that artificial intelligence systems are not really fully programmed, where you have to program every step and every system. It learns from the system. It learns from the data given to it. For instance, let's assume I want to create a presentation for this chat we are having now. All I just need to do is just to, for instance, get my Word document, everything I want to do, put it up in the artificial intelligence, in the chat box of the artificial intelligence, tell it what to do. I want this kind of presentation. I want this to be done, and just leave the AI system, the model now, to do the rest of the work for you. And in less than few minutes, you discover that everything is done. And once the result is also out, and you feel, okay, the artificial intelligence did not give you what you want, all you just need to do is just to prompt it further by speaking the language. What artificial intelligence uses is just our human language, just the way we are communicating this way is what artificial intelligence uses to automate processes. So it learns from those data, whatever data you've given to it, it processes it and then it's storing it in the memory, giving the result. And then when you reprompt it, it also goes back to check the memory of what has been done before. And then it will re-update and reorganize the data and then push it out. So every common man on the street, if properly oriented, can use artificial intelligence. It doesn't take a lot of time.
Let's take it to a very lighter note now before I ask of this particular question that I really need to leverage on. Now, my co-host, before the program started with you as our guest, he said that once you type my name, for instance, Jumai Manson, and you just speak to maybe ChatGPT or whatever model you're using, and you say, tell me about Jumai Manson, all the data about myself comes out. How possible is it when I do not have any records? How possible is that for people like a lot of people who are curious to know?
Okay, based on what you've asked, this is the way AI works. Now, once you give AI a prompt, once you prompt your AI, what it does for you is that it goes into millions of servers, just the way we used Google before. Now, the difference is this: when you use Google before to search for a keyword, what it will do for you is that it will bring those information as link, where you have to start perusing through each of those information to be able to summarize what you want to work on. But in the case of artificial intelligence, it will go into millions of servers nationwide to search for that particular information within split seconds. And once every information it gets about, for instance, Jumai Manson as a person, it's now going to organize it. Then, for instance, if you are saying Jumai Manson, it would also want to ask you, the Jumai Manson you're talking about, where is this person based? Or for instance, what is the field of this person? It wants to also get a very unique or specific information that differentiates this particular Jumai Manson you are trying to talk about. So once it's able to get that, it searches through all the databases and then fetch that information and organize it in a way that is very presentable for you to just peruse through.
Of course, my co-host wants to ask a question, but let me just ask this particular one. Now, let's tilt towards Nigeria now. How can developing economies like Nigeria leverage artificial intelligence to accelerate growth and global competitiveness?
Okay, one of the ways Nigeria can really accelerate growth and digital economy, leveraging on it, is that training is one area that is very, very important. Training is very, very key. Now, most of the times in our own system here, you discover that people usually would want to fight a system that is new. For instance, you always have what you call, in computer, you always have what you call, when it comes to designs, the old system and the new system. So what happens is that there is a need for training. And when we are looking at training now, we are looking at training the younger generations. And when we are looking at training the younger generations, it also begins by going to the core, to the basics. Like in the educational system, for instance, when young children are being trained from their young age about artificial intelligence to the primary and to the secondary schools, you see, it makes them very, very independent based on what they can be able to do. For instance, I've been in the education sector for a very long time, and with my experience training children from different schools, I've discovered that there is really nothing the young minds cannot do. Those young children you see, as small as they are, when they are properly trained, even with the most complex technologies, when you're able to break it down, they are able to do what? Assimilate it and even go beyond whatever you are doing. So when you have these children being trained, for instance, when you go to China, you see young children producing chips and doing a lot of so many things we use here as a country. Most of those things are being developed by people who are not even as skilled or as learned as people we have here. Why? Because they started at an early age. So for instance, if this artificial intelligence is embedded into curriculum of the educational systems, you see that there will be a massive growth and drive from there. Why? Because there will be a lot the children will be able to do to be able to also produce in real time. So it's just breaking those complex distance. So one of the areas I've been able to identify is in the area of training. When people are being trained, you'll be able to achieve a very great result. Another area is in the area of agriculture. For instance, we have smart farming technologies that AI can also be incorporated to get results within a very short time. Even though agriculture is one area maybe you will not have most to venture into, but today agriculture is becoming much more an innovative practice where you have smart farming and using technologies to grow crops and all of those hybrid and all those hybrid crops and production. See, when agriculture is being taken to the next level, you see that even the food for the next generation can be reserved. And when you have enough, when food is even taken away from the challenge of the society, you discover that the other things are less. So that's it for now. So training is one of the areas that can also drive the economy.
Thank you very much, John Oluwase or Ayodele. We don't have enough time. Would have loved to continue, but then we don't have enough time. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to have you again so we can talk more extensively about the impact of artificial intelligence to the economy of nations like Nigeria. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This is the size of the first conversation. We'll go into the second conversation after this break. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Thank you, everyone. It's good to get into the second conversation. Well, artificial intelligence has come to stay, whether we like it or not. All right, moving from the first discussion, let's get into politics a little bit. I know a lot of people, we are looking forward to what was going to happen yesterday. Then, it didn't go the way some persons were thinking about it. That's by the way. Have you thought about the impact of opposition in every administration? What about the issue of consensus? How important is it to politicians, to the electorate, to the political party? We'll look at all of this in this second conversation for you today. And as a matter of fact, we already have our guest seated in the studio here as we talk about this, I call it all-important conversation. Joining us on the conversation right here is Chibuno Ubaweke. I call him Honorable most times. It's good to have you join us, Chief.
Thank you, Ramsey.
Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you, Jumai.
So let's get into the conversation right now, because a lot of people, when you talk about opposition, so many things come to mind. But today, we want to look at, first of all, let's start from the issue of consensus. Your party, the All Progressive Congress, as a matter of fact, you are aware of what happened from the convention. But now, the place of consensus, as it has to do with political party members, some persons love it, some persons don't want it, some persons speak out, some persons cannot speak out, and you have a lot of people doing so many things at the background because of dissatisfaction, as a matter of fact. What's your concept, what's your perception as it has to do with consensus?
The National Assembly, being stakeholders in our body polity, because they are made up of elected representatives of the people, and they are the first beneficiaries of any electoral process. So they have seen that in some cases, or in most cases where we mount consensus, it is not actually consensus. Some party leaders, especially governors, hide under the provision of consensus to just write lists of names of the people they prefer and force it down the throat of other aspirants. But in the wisdom of the National Assembly, they saw that when we talk about consensus, it should be consensus. All the aspirants must agree. That's the provision of the Electoral Act 2026 as amended. In Part V of the Electoral Act, Section 86, if it is consensus, all the aspirants will consent to it. They will sign. It's not verbal. They will sign to a document as that, yes, this social candidate B or aspirant B, all of us have agreed that aspirant B should be the person that will fly the flag of the flag of the party. Now, they put it in writing. If there is any dissenting voice, any dissenting aspirant, I don't agree, then the party must go for direct primaries. That is the provision of the Electoral Act 2026 as amended, Part V, Sections 86 and 87.
I would like to ask, for individuals wondering out there, what are the advantages or disadvantages of politics in political parties?
You see, politics in political parties are meant for politics. So that is the sense of having political parties. Political parties are vehicles, to drive one to his, destination of political ambition. So without political parties, especially in our own climb, where we do not have independent candidacy, you must belong to a political party to aspire to a political position. So without a political party, you cannot drive your political ambition to your destination. It is very, very important that politics, because political parties are meant for politics. Sure. So politics must be played in the political parties before we bring it out to the national scale.
Lately becomes a household name, a household thing. If you are doing anything, somebody will tell you, don't play politics with me. Don't play. People begin to use that language. Going back to the issue of consensus, as it has to do with your political party, the issue of streamlining, is it possible, despite what you say, as it is obtained in the electoral reform, don't you think there could also be some people, all right, who may still be dissatisfied with the process? Just a few days ago, someone was telling me that he defected from the All Progressive Congress because of the issue of consensus, though at the grassroots. So this consensus of a thing, is it more effective at the top, or it cut across to the grassroots, to the council?
It cuts across all the political strata. Is it at the presidential level for presidential election, the National Assembly election, the State Assembly's election, even to the local government awards? It cuts across. It's the law. It cuts across. The thing is that when a party adopts consensus method, it saves time, it saves cost, it eliminates to some extent rancor and bitterness. If it is properly implemented, if all the aspirants agree, it's called consensus because we must consent to the fact that this candidate should go. If all the parties agree, all the aspirants agree, and put pen to paper that it is such and so person, without being coerced to do that, it saves everybody time. But what we see in some cases, and what the wisdom behind the National Assembly members, including it in the Electoral Act, was because of the past experiences. Some party leaders will sit down and write names and force it down your throat. It is this person we want to get this consensus, and you will have little or nothing to do. But in this time around, if you are writing a list or penning down people's names that they must do this or it must be so and so, aspirant A or B, you must appeal to the conscience, of the other aspirants, convince them on why they should agree to support that candidate, that aspirant A or B, to be the person to fly the flag of the party. If they refuse to agree, you go for direct primaries election. That's what the law says.
Your party later resorted to direct primaries.
Yeah.
First of all, it was consensus.
No, see, when a particular aspirant says no, you must go for direct primaries.
Okay, meaning some people said no after the convention.
So that's what. No, when there was no objection during our convention, it was consensus. Everybody accepted. Everybody, all the aspirants, agreed and assumed it must be so and so person. And every aspirant, accepted and put pen to paper. That was why our convention went the way it went, very smooth without rancor.
Now, looking at all of this now, how can political parties, in a way, balance unity, which is consensus, with fairness and, of course, inclusiveness?
Consensus, embodies what you have just mentioned, the unity, inclusiveness, and fairness. If all of us agree, that is unity, that is fairness, that is inclusivity. But if we fail to agree, we now go, that becomes the other way around. So, but consensus engenders unity, fairness, and inclusivity. But the absence of consensus might engender disunity, acrimony, and or what have you. So that is why the national members of the National Assembly, in their wisdom, said to save us acrimony, to save us bitterness, let there be consensus, but it must be done properly. Every aspirant must be carried along. That was why they inserted the clause that everybody must sign to a document that yes, they have accepted for the aspirant A or B to fly the flag of the party in that particular election or constituency. So if anyone disagrees, like if you go to the section 87 of the Part V, section 87.1, it says if any of the parties say no, does not consent to it, the party must go for direct primaries.
Even if everybody have accepted. And
if one person dissents, you must go for primaries. That is the law. So it's no longer consensus.
All right. Now, there is one thin line. Let me bring it out. Because the reason why I want to ask this question is that I interacted with someone and the person raised a concern. This issue of consensus, the candidate, most times you hear like, all right, it is you we want. All right, we want you to contest this and we all give you your support. That is the candidate now.
The aspirant.
The aspirant, I beg your pardon. The aspirant now. These aspirants have people who are bringing him out. And the person gets up there and go to a meeting and return and tell his people that he wants to step down for aspirant A or aspirant B. And the people say no. And this person has no option because, to all fairness, even if the person runs, the person might not even go very far. But if people want the person to run by all means, how do you balance this for the success and the unity of the party to stand? How would you balance this?
The aspirant is running to represent his constituents. Thank you. So, and you are called for a stakeholders meeting, because a stakeholders meeting must be called to agree. You must carry your constituents along, your supporters, you must carry them along. If a stakeholders meeting is called and the issue of consensus is brought, as part of the agenda, and you have not consulted with your constituents, nothing, makes it incumbent on you to accept. You can opt to say, let me have a consultation with my constituents and supporters. Consult with them, and then if they accept, I will, concede. But if they say no, go ahead, because you are not representing yourself. If your constituents and your supporters say no, go ahead and run for the election, why will you concede to consensus?
This is really tricky.
Why will you consider consensus? Consensus, like we said, is to save cost, eliminate acrimony and bitterness and whatever. But some people will still feel aggrieved. I have an ambition, I want to fulfill my ambition, and then representing my people, and maybe the person happens to be a very good person, possesses all the qualities, for effective representation of his people, and he goes for a stakeholders meeting, and he said that it is so and so we want, the person might say, no, I will still slug it out. My people say I should go and represent them. So let's slug it. If I lose at the primary, so be it. My people will not know that I have fought a fight. But not when you now talk to some. That some people are coming for election to aspiring to positions to reach TV. I was a former aspirant, so position. They are not coming to contest for an election. So you see that when the issue of consensus are tabled, they are the first people to jump. Okay, I agree. And if it happens that maybe they have purchased forms, nomination forms, and expression of interest, but they will not ask you to refund them the money they spent. You understand? But in the issue of consensus, they are being reformed because you must have made consultations before coming to the level you are now. You must have consulted, and in political consultation, you spend money. So if all of us are going to agree, it is going to be aspirant A, there must be concessions as well. There must be concessions. I would just, all the expenditure will not just go like that. You must do something to at least let me part of the cost of I have expended. So there are a lot of factors that are put in place to arrive at consensus. Negotiations must be made. Trust must be built. Confidence must be built, and then before arriving at okay, you can go. We put pen to paper. You don't force it down the throat of somebody like we had in the past. This new electoral act has made it that all of us must sign, agree before the consensus becomes effective.
All right, now let's talk about opposition a little bit. One of the things that electorate complains about most times is accountability, good governance. People tell you, well, this person is doing as if we're not the ones that voted for him and all of that. What role do you think opposition can play to enhance accountability and, of course, good governance? I know it's them, but at least.
See, I am a practical politician, and I say it as it is. I want to answer you by drawing an inference, something that I've said here before.
Okay.
And without reservation and any apologies, when in 2023, the Labour Party, wave was blowing everywhere. People were joining Labour Party because of the wave. They won elections and things like that. I did say that majority of these people that rode on the vehicle of Labour Party to their electoral victories were the camp, because every politician wants to network. You want patronage. You want to dispense a good governance to your people, those that have conscience. Want to provide what we call democratic dividends to your people. And being in opposition, you might not get it, the way it should be. There's one of my political mentors, I don't want to mention his name. He said, I did not come here to say point of order. What orders are coming to do for is what I came to do for. You understand? None of them go to the National Assembly or any elected position to come and raise point of order. There are perks of offices. There are, benefits, that are accrued, especially when you are in the ruling party, and everybody wants to get it. And again, what you have in mind is your constituents have a lot of demands on you. How will you be able to meet up with their demands if you do not align with the ruling party? Because being in the ruling party confers a lot of advantage on you. So that is why we say, when people say opposition, when they get to the maybe National Assembly or state associations of assembly, you see them, they begin to fraternize. At times, because they want people to see either we are opposed, at times you see them, they make media appearances to see that people to say I am opposing, but deep down the line, it is not like that. When they get into the chambers, other things happen. So, yes, a virile opposition is good, because if you take away opposition, there is no democracy. But the opposition must be the one that provides a credible alternative. Policies and programs you feel that are not in the good interest or best interest of the masses or Nigerians, You provide what you feel should be better than what is provided. But is that what we are seeing today? No is the answer. What we are seeing is name calling, abuses, insults. That is not opposition. An opposition means you are opposing this, you are providing this. Are they providing alternatives that are credible enough? No. That is why we are where we are. My party wants credible opposition that will put her on her toes. But we are not seeing it. Abuses and insults does not constitute opposition.
Look, still talking about oppositions now. How can the opposition party serve as a check for abuse of power by the ruling party?
If they eschew selfishness and greed, if they should do away with greed and selfishness, they will be able to provide viable and credible opposition. But you see that they are very greedy among themselves and greedy for power. It is me first, what I call political meism. That is what you see them promote. And that's why we are not seeing a credible opposition. If they should eschew selfishness and greed and think about selflessness and think about Nigeria and the progress and betterment and development of Nigeria, when the government brings out policy and program you feel it's not in the best interest of Nigerians, you provide an alternative that this should have been done this way. If this is done, that would have served Nigeria better. You now weigh the two together. That is how opposition should work. But that is not what we are seeing today, like I have said earlier on. If the opposition should remove greed, they need themselves of greediness and selfishness, then they will be able to do their work better. But for the fact that all their intentions are mired in greed, embedded in greed, deep-rooted in greed and selfishness, there is nothing they can do.
Well, it's a big problem. But then, you talked about the fact that your party, the All Progressive Congress, is not having the kind of opposition that it's expected.
Yeah.
Now, in all other administrations, we've had oppositions at least. All right?
Yeah.
This APC seems not to have a strong opposition. And some Nigerians are thinking that's wrong somewhere. Like you just mentioned, that for every good government, all right, every administration, for the sake of check and balance, there is need for opposition, even though you are bringing in the greed thing and all of that. But your party does not have a position. Some Nigerians are thinking that something is wrong somewhere. Probably there are some persons in the ruling who want to or strategically stopping these oppositions from standing. It's an accusation. It's allegedly said so. What do you have to say about that?
It is an accusation. It is not our making. We will not use our hand to manufacture opposition. And we will not use our hand to, empower the opposition to do what they are supposed to do. It is their job, they are the opposition. Let them look inwards, provide credible alternatives. Our party is doing the right thing to dispense and provide good governance to Nigerians. We are not perfect. There might be mistake. That is where the opposition should come in. If there are anywhere that there is a mistake, you say this thing you did is wrong here. You should have done it this way. But that is not what we are seeing. Our party is not doing anything to stifle opposition. No. The political space is very wide enough to accommodate everybody. It behooves those who call themselves opposition to do their job well. We will not be the one to help them to do their job. No, we can't do their job for them. So for the fact that they are not providing credible opposition, viable opposition, means we are doing our work well.
But, okay, you want to ask a question? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, there is this speculation. It's not even a speculation. If you look at Jonathan's regime, there was an opposition.
Yeah.
If you look at Buhari's regime, PDP tried everything, their best, and you saw how the election went in 2023. Labour Party even joined the opposition alongside with PDP, even though there was no coalition. Everyone ran independently, and Nigerians felt the opposition. But are you not surprised that this administration does not have an opposition, and every opposition that tried to raise its head, something happened? Remember, you know what is happening in PDP. I don't need to tell you. That of Labour Party, you are aware. Even though a few days ago we heard from the court that, well, there was a judgment which Abure still is appealing also. Then that of ADC, yesterday you remember what happened from the court and all of that. So don't you think something is wrong somewhere, that only this administration does not have a credible opposition compared to other administrations? What is it normal?
Let me answer you. What is wrong, that this administration is not having a credible opposition is that those that are supposed to be the opposition, that should provide opposition to this administration, do not have anything to challenge the administration with. The administration is doing its best for Nigeria. Those that should challenge it do not have something better than what the present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. They don't have anything better to offer. Now think about it. Those that claim to be in the opposition have held political positions in Nigeria. How did they fare while holding those positions? What did they provide for Nigeria? Did they provide good governance to Nigerians? We have all their records. I don't need to mention their name because campaigns have not started. So when they held positions of authority in Nigeria, they did not provide anything better. But this administration is doing things better for Nigeria. Yes, with pains, but the pains are easy enough and we're going to enjoy. Laying a solid foundation for the rebirth of a new Nigeria that will make every Nigeria proud. It happened in China at the time in the development of China. They passed through this pain, on their way to development. And today we are seeing China being everywhere in the world, the second largest economy in the world, if not the first. It does happen. So this administration is doing that part of providing good governance to Nigerians. Those that are supposed to oppose it does not have something better to offer. Look at what is happening in their political parties. If you cannot manage a political party, is it Nigeria you can manage? A political party is an infinitesimal part of the total fraction called Nigeria. You cannot manage it. Is it Nigeria that you manage? I did say some time ago that Nigeria is a behemoth, very large behemoth. Now you cannot manage a rat. Then you want to come and manage an elephant. Is it possible? Look at what is happening in their political parties. Rancor, bitterness, because of what? Greed and selfishness. Remove greed and selfishness, they will be able to see clearly.
Basically, on this, a lot of people will beg to differ and tell you that with all of these things put in place by the ruling Progressive Party, yet we just see numbers and figures. We do not see, like for the common man, for instance, when he goes to the marketplace, he doesn't understand numbers, he doesn't understand statistics, and that is what we are seeing because we feel individuals who are put in place have what it takes. But the common man who doesn't understand all of that, how do you break it to the common man, for the common man to see that this administration is working towards a better Nigeria, a better tomorrow?
The common man might not understand it now, but as we progress, the common man will understand it. When the benefits will start fully, trickling down. But if you say there is no improvement, I disagree. There is an improvement.
In what area precisely?
In every area of our national life.
Well, we're still struggling with insecurity.
Yes. Now you ask me why.
I was getting to that.
Okay. Insecurity, I want to ask you, is it this government that caused insecurity?
But it has lingered for 60 years.
Thank you very much. Why has it lingered? There are people that are fueling the insecurity. There are people. Because you cannot tell me government makes humongous investment in security to curtail insecurity and the thing continues unabated. Somebody somewhere is benefiting from it. They have commercialized it. That's why they don't want it to end.
But can't the government investigate that?
They are doing that. They are doing that. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is seriously doing that. And very soon you will see the people that have been brought to book. They let nobody shout. They are fighting opposition. They are trying to scare full opposition. Because some of the people that are fueling this insecurity are in the opposition. You should remember, from the time Mr. President fell out with a particular political dramatic personnel, insecurity, snowballed. It skyrocketed. Why? Government is investigating, and very soon they will be picking them one after the other. Why has insecurity continued unabated, irrespective of the humongous investment government has made into security to curb insecurity? can you explain the situation where a whole brigadier general will become shot by a ragtag army, terrorist, invade the military establishment, kill a brigadier general? Somebody on inside that they are sabotaging it. The stories we know that the brigadier general ran into the armored personnel to start it, refused to start. Why? Somebody disabled it. Who are the people doing those things? It is pure sabotage. Government is investigating it, and people that are responsible, government knows them, and very soon they will start picking them one after the other. But nobody should cry after opposition, after this, because let me not go too far, but it is sabotage of the highest order.
From opposition?
Don't worry. Sabotage of the highest order. From within the people that are siding with the responsibility of stopping, or coming insecurity. How can you be killing the senior military officers in the military establishment? Where are their boys that are supposed to guide them? Where did they go to?
But you agree with me that this is not the first time a senior military officer
yes, but
and they have mentioned that investigations will be ongoing, and yet we are yet to see results.
Thank you. Government, we've seen the wheel goes, I think slowly, but gets slowly but surely.
For how long? People are dying.
Slowly but surely. Don't worry. You will see results. Those that are responsible for this, you will see results. It is some time ago when I was here, before about 2 years ago or thereabout, or 3 years, I was here. I said when that it was me was asking me about people that looted the nation dry in the last administration. Nothing is being done to them. I said, don't worry. Government has its report, and they take it one after the other, one at a time. But let nobody cry when they start picking up those people that our government is going after, opposition or whatever, or those who do not like it. Government will start going after them. Don't worry. Just hold on.
Okay, try not to worry. At the detriment of what? Of people losing their lives.
They are doing everything
to. It has shifted base to Plateau. We saw what happened with lots of individuals have died in that process, and because we have to fold our hands, and according to you, we should not worry. But a lot of people are dying at the same time.
Government is doing something serious to stop that. Government, there are bills. There are things we don't say on air that you see going on. It is security matter. I don't need to say certain things on air, but let's just watch.
All right. Well, our time is fast spent, but then you are confident that your party is doing well, and of course that you even say in every area they are doing well.
Yeah.
But now let's look at 2027. How would it look like? All right, if just one party, because a lot of people are talking about one party state, which APC have said it cannot happen, that they are not even in support of it.
Yes.
But as it is, with the way it's going, with the way things are going, if any opposition raises its head, something happen. All of a sudden, there's an internal crisis, and some persons are feeling some people are being used internally because of the greed that you talked about. Now, how would it look like in 2027 if there is no good opposition? You just come only one party. Is that not a semi-one party state?
Nigeria is too big for a one party state. I'll say it time and again. And what we are witnessing now does not mean we are tilting towards one party. Any opposition that raises head, something happens. What caused their problem? Let me borrow the word of one of our political leaders. Agreement is agreement. If we agree on this, let us do this thing we agreed upon. Don't breach the agreement. If you breach the agreement, I will not agree. I will fight you. Are you following? Each political party has its own constitution to regulate its affairs. When you take actions to breach your own constitution, and you say nobody should challenge you, no is the answer. You take actions in your party that breaches your party's constitution, that breaches the Electoral Act, that breaches the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, that breaches IMF guidelines, and you say nobody should challenge you, and then when the person starts to challenge you, you say somebody is sponsoring you. No, now. Do the right thing, and then you see everything will move fine. But when you fail to do the right thing, people will talk, people will challenge it. Even in my own party, if my party does what breaches our constitution, you see my party will rise against it. That is how it is.
All right.
There is nothing like one party state. There are over 20 political parties in Nigeria.
and they are fielding candidates for elections. If one party, because of greed and selfishness, fail to put their house in order, does it mean we are on a one-party stage? No is the answer.
All right, our time is up. All right, no is the answer according to Chief. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the program. It has been a very wonderful one. I would say a big thank you. We hope to have you again. We need to talk about this until Nigerians are satisfied.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. This is the size of the conversation for you today. It has been a very wonderful morning. I want to let you know that Global Television does not have an editorial contribution to the national dailies that was taken, and of course, the view of all our guests is entirely theirs and not that of Global Television. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo.
And I am Jumai Manson. Thank you all so much for being a part of the program. Thank you so much to our guests for making our time to be here. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.